welcome to Balmaha House, Bunkhouse and Canoe Hire. My name is Jock and what we're going to go through now is the safety brief before you go out. If at any time you have any questions during this brief, please just stop me and I'll do my best to answer any questions that you may have. Okay, a few things I need to know before we go into the brief fully. I need to know, do you all swim? Anybody that doesn't swim, let me know now. Does anybody have any illnesses or you're on any medication that could affect your day out on the loch today? You need to tell me now or inform your group leader. When you're out on my boats, no alcohol and no smoking on the happy puffs. It just doesn't happen, it's not allowed. Communications. We will test communications before you go out. You must have working mobile communications or you can't go out on the loch, simple as that. Right, I'm a member of the Scottish Canoeing Association. As such, I sign up to their code of practice and principles. It's called the Paddler's Code, and we'll talk about the Paddler's Code in a minute. It's basically straightforward, it's really common sense, it's a bit like the highway code, but applies to the water. So it's common sense, and above all, it's about safety. You'll hear me mention the word safety on more than one occasion, and I make no apologies for doing that. Safety is the #1 priority, most important thing. The Paddler's Code is here, and as we go through the brief I'll talk about some of the Paddler's Code content, but you can look through it at your own leisure before you leave. Now I look at 3 weather forecasts before I put people into the water. I'll look at the Met Office, I'll look at the BBC, and I'll also look at XE weather. That gives me the best barometer to gauge it from. Now, they're not always the same, so that's why I take 3. And also my experience of looking out onto the loch and seeing what's going on. The wind direction, the wind speed is the most important thing. Not so much whether it's raining or it's overcasted, but the wind speed and wind direction is the most important thing. The weather forecast is there, you can read through that at your own leisure, but I will talk through it. Okay, what I'm going to do now is just quickly orientate you to where you are on the ground. We're here in Balmaha, the marina is just here. Inchcallacht Island is the large island over there we're looking at now, and the one to the left of that is Clarinch. Now, if you're going up the loch, you're heading north, and north is in that direction there. We're on the east bank. Two islands to the right of Inchcallacht, shown on the chart here and here, you do not land on unless you've been invited, or if you have an emergency, of course you can land there. But just, you can sail around, but don't land unless you have a reason to land, okay, or you have permission to land. There's a natural channel that goes straight through the centre there, and that's your route out, and it's your route back in. Now be aware that that's a working marina and there's boats coming in and out. You always give way to the boats. Give way to them, let them know you're there if they're not sure. Just normal hand signal, let them know you're there. Do what I do, I normally just sit it out, let the boats do what they're going to do, and when it's safe to do so, I'll then carry on with my journey. The other thing is, when you're going out there, if anybody's fishing, then try and avoid them if you can. If you can't avoid them, just let them know you're going past. They may ask you to go another way because they've got rods in there, and that's just common respect, and you just sail around. Well, the last thing you want to do is go past somebody who's fishing. They haven't seen you, you haven't seen them, they cast out, and then somebody's got a hook stuck in the back of the net, and they'll be talking about it at the pub. It's just not good. Don't do it. Common sense, using your senses, and being aware of your surroundings. Okay, the other thing to be aware of when you're out in the open loch, sometimes there's fast craft out there, maybe jet skis, maybe speedboats. Again, using your natural senses, let them know that you're there if they're coming anywhere near you. Last thing we want is anything to come too close to you at speed and causes a panic. So again, just be aware of what's going on around you. Now, when you're anywhere near the water or in the boats, you must have your buoyancy aids on at all time and done up. That's very important. Now, you're wearing buoyancy aids, they're not life jackets. They will not correct your position in the water. They will help you to float, so you have to do the hard work, and that's why I say stick with a boat. It's the best buoyancy aid that you have available to you. When you go out onto the loch, if you look at the chart now, the white indicates shallower water. It's still deep enough, but it's shallower water. You'll see from around the islands and on the shoreline, the water is shallower. Where the chart turns to a deeper colour of blue, that's then indicating that the water is much deeper. In some places, particularly in the southern part of the loch where you'll be out in, it's up to 60 metres deep. And as you travel further north, it can even be as deep as 190 metres, which is deep. When you're looking on the chart, you'll see some red buoys indicated. Red is telling you there's a potential hazard in the area, telling you there's rocks in the area, the water could be shallow, there could be a fast current. So red is telling you be aware, that's a potential hazard. Sail round it to the left or to the right, and don't do what some people do, just go over to see if Jock's telling the truth or not. And then all of a sudden they hit a rock and they start panicking. So don't go over, sail round it left or right. The yellow buoys just tell you which way is the safe passage, left or right. And you can look at this chart before you leave. You know and I know anything can happen in Scotland and the weather can change just like that. So be aware of what's going on. Use the map with an eyeball, look into the distance, use your ears, be aware of what's going on around you. And if it starts to change, then always err on the side of caution. I always urge everybody to err on the side of caution. Get yourself into a sheltered bay, sit it out, and then maybe once it passes, carry on with your journey. Depend on your own comfort zone and your own abilities. If it's not looking good, then err on the side of caution and just come back in. And the side of caution we should err towards is with the person with the least experience. We don't want to scare them, we want them to come back, enjoy the experience, come back and do it again. Now, worst case scenario, real worst case scenario, we've got a problem, somebody's ended up in the water. The first thing I want you to do is stay with the boat. It's the best buoyancy aid that you have available to it, so stay with it. Try and self-help first of all, get yourself back onto the boat if you can. If you can't get up onto the boat, then just use the boat as a buoyancy aid and kick it towards the shallower water and then sort yourself out from there. If at any time you think it's not going right and you're feeling, you know, you've got a problem, then get straight on to the telephone, dial 999 straight away, ask for the emergency boat. They'll launch from Luss. Give them some basic information. How many people are in your party? What sort of boat are you in? We're in a blue open top. We launched from Balmaha. So they'll know, they have a little bit of information to give them a steer towards where you are, and they'll come out. Now, if it's safe, only if it's safe to do so, then telephone me, and if I need to coordinate anything at this end, then I can do it for you. Okay, so first thing, self-help first of all. If it's looking not good, 999 straight away. Don't wait for it all to go wrong, then think, oh, I should have phoned 999. Err on the side of caution. Safety is always first. If anybody would like me to give you one or two suggestions of where you might want to go today on the loch, then I'm happy to do that. Please ask me at the end of this briefing and we'll go through one or two ideas that you might want to consider.